Hi, welcome back to my channel. That was so cringy. Ew. Okay. Let me fix these. Hey guys. Today's video is going to be everything you need to know about Accutane. I'm going to tell you guys how you can get on Accutane, the things you need to do before going on Accutane, the products you're going to need while you're on Accutane, literally all of it. Okay, so without further ado, because we have a lot to talk about, I have a notebook full of notes to share with you guys. So go ahead, grab a snack, get comfortable, because we're gonna be here for a second. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this video. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is what exactly is Accutane. I'm gonna read what I wrote down like straight right here, just so I don't get anything wrong. Okay, so if that's, I'm reading. Okay, so what exactly is Accutane? It is known as, I'm gonna mess up this word, it's isotretinoin, is that how you say it? I don't know. We're just gonna go with it. Okay, and it is taken in the form of a pill. It works by reducing the production of the skin's natural oils. Okay, so how my dermatologist explained Accutane to me before I got put on Accutane was it literally takes your oil glands, it takes your oil glands and it literally like closes them. It just dries out your skin, literally. Like that's all it does. It takes all the oil that your skin produces and it just stops it completely, because that is mainly what acne comes from, is all the oils in your skin. So take note that this is not only the oils where your acne comes from, whether it be your skin, like your face, your chest, your back, wherever your acne is, it dries out your whole body. Okay, so just keep that in mind if you're considering going on Accutane. Now I'm going to be talking about what you need to do before you get on Accutane and how exactly you can get put on Accutane. A few side notes before I get into this topic. Know that Accutane is not for everyone, okay? So your dermatologist has to prescribe you to be put on Accutane. You can't just go into the pharmacy and be like, hey, give me some Accutane. You know, I want clear skin. You can't do that. You have to be going to a dermatologist for a certain amount of time, and then they have to be the ones that tell you, hey, I think Accutane would be a good choice for you. You know, we've tried everything else, nothing else is helping, and I think Accutane is your last bet for clear skin. So first, they'll make you take a pregnancy test. Second, they're going to either make you commit to abstinence, which is just committing to not having sex, not doing any of that stuff, or they're going to make you take 2 forms of birth control, not just one, 2 forms of birth control, okay, to make sure that you do not get pregnant. And so the third thing they're gonna have you do before you start Accutane is, so you're gonna go into the dermatologist, you're gonna say, hey, do you want to start Accutane? And you either tell them yes or no, okay? So that's whenever you go in and you take your pregnancy test, and then they'll either say, I need you to sign this form that says you're gonna commit to abstinence, or they're gonna make you write down what 2 forms of birth control you're going to go on. The next step is they're gonna give you a lot of paperwork before you go in, but what they're gonna have you do is they're gonna give you a login to this website. I wish I could tell you what it was called. I think it's called like myaccutane.com or whatever it's actually called, but they'll have you go onto this website. They're gonna give you a login, and what you have to do is you have to log in and you have to take a quiz. It's gonna ask you all types of different questions. It really just depends what questions it gives you, but you have to pass the test, and it's really easy to pass, don't worry, in order for the dermatologist to be able to send the pharmacy your prescription and for the pharmacy to tell you that you can now pick up your Accutane. Now we're gonna go into getting started on Accutane. So most likely, I'm pretty sure this is what everybody does across the board whenever they start Accutane, is they start you off on 1 pill a day. The dosage that you take all depends on all types of factors. It depends on how severe your acne is, depends on your height, your weight, and one other thing. Your height, your weight, and your gender. I personally can't remember what my dosage was, but I know that originally I was meant to be on it for 5 months, but I actually ended up being on it for 8 months. Basically, the dosage and the amount of time that you're on Accutane all just depends on all 4 of those factors. It really just depends on what your dermatologist tells you, okay? And know that even if they say, oh, you're only gonna be on it for 5 months, okay? However, everybody reacts differently. Everybody's skin reacts differently. It might end up being less than that amount of time that he told you, or she. Less than that amount of time that your dermatologist told you, or more. So in my case, I was supposed to be on it for 5 months, but I ended up pushing it to 8 months. So it really just depends. Now I'm gonna be talking about all the products that you need to go ahead and go to the store and get before you start Accutane, because these products are going to save your life, I promise, okay? You will need Aquaphor to keep your lips hydrated. You have to stay up with it or your lips are going to look crusty. Like, I don't know how else to say that. Your lips are going to look crusty if you don't use anything on your lips, okay? Don't go out and use Vaseline. It's going to moisturize your lips while the Vaseline is on it, but as soon as the Vaseline's off, it's almost like it's drying out your lips while it's hydrating your lips, if that makes sense. That's enough about Aquaphor. Just know you need to get Aquaphor. You can get a big tub of it at Walmart, Kroger, Target, and what you're gonna want to do while you're on Accutane is get yourself a little container and put Aquaphor in that little container so you can just carry around the little thing with you whenever you're going out and about. That way you can always be putting Aquaphor on and not even have to worry about it. The next product that you're going to want to go out and get is going to be a good moisturizer. I personally use Cetaphil whenever I was on Accutane, and I still use it to this day. It's an amazing moisturizer and it never left my skin feeling dry. Like, my face never really felt super dry when I was on Accutane, only after I washed my face. But as soon as I put that moisturizer on after I washed my face, I was good to go. So I also had asked my dermatologist what moisturizers I could use while I was on Accutane, and he had told me Cetaphil or CeraVe. I know both of them work really well, but I use Cetaphil. You can use CeraVe. Really just go out and get yourself a good moisturizer. The next thing you're going to want to get is going to be lotion, okay? But you cannot go to Bath & Body Works and get yourself a cute little scented lotion that's gonna smell really good, okay? No. While you're on Accutane, your skin is going to be so sensitive. If you don't normally have sensitive skin, your skin will be sensitive while you're on Accutane. So you have to go out and get a lotion that is unscented and just lotion. Unscented lotion, because the scented lotion is going to burn your skin. It's going to burn your skin. Good, got it, cool. Okay, so that was all the stuff that you need. So you need to get Aquaphor, you need to get a good moisturizer, Cetaphil or CeraVe, and you need to get unscented lotion, because like I said, your whole body is going to be dry, not just your face. Now I have 2 other products that you can get that are optional. You don't have to get it, but I know it does help. So like I said, your whole body is going to be dry, and that also means your scalp. So I normally have very oily hair, and now that I've been off of Accutane for almost a year now, my hair is back to what it was, super oily. I've always used shampoo for oily hair just because it helps keep the oils out for a longer amount of time. So what I noticed as I was on Accutane and I was using that shampoo, it was like drying my scalp out so much that my head would start itching because my scalp was not used to being that dry. So what I had to go out and get was a moisturizing shampoo. So I went ahead and got a shampoo for dry hair, and I used that while I was on Accutane, and then once I got off, I used my shampoo for oily hair again. So go out and get yourself a shampoo for dry hair because it will help keep your scalp moisturized. And then the next product is just a moisturizing shampoo. I meant body wash, guys. I meant moisturizing body wash. Okay, back to the video. Make sure it's non-scented, because those Fragrances on your body will irritate your skin more. Now you can use perfume. Perfume is fine. I put it on my clothes when I was on Accutane, but don't be rubbing it all up in your body because that's just not a good idea when you're on Accutane. Now I'm going to be going into the things that you have to do once a month while you're on Accutane. So the first thing you have to do once a month while you're on Accutane is you have to get your blood done, okay? Now, I think it just depends on your dermatologist and what they tell you. What I would have to do is I would have to fast for 24 hours, okay? Some dermatologists say that you can fast for just 12 hours and then get your blood done and then you'll be fine. The blood, your results will still come up clear, but my dermatologist always told me fast for 24 hours and then go get your blood done. So what I would do was I would start my fast as soon as I would wake up in the morning, and then I would go through the whole day without eating. I would wake up the next morning at like 7 a.m., go get my blood done before I went to school. I would grab myself food before I went to school, and then I would be all set. Okay, so I know fasting for 24 hours sounds horrible, and it is. It's not horrible, but it's not enjoyable the first few times you have to do it. Now, as the months went on, I got used to doing the whole fast thing for 24 hours. The first time I had to fast, it was interesting. You literally crave everything in the world, but you can't eat it. So that includes you can't drink anything else but water. So literally you're on a water diet for 24 hours. And it sucks, but to me it was worth it for clear skin. So you just have to kind of see if you want to do that or not. Every month, once a month, to me, I had 3 steps in my head. Whenever it came up to be my dermatologist appointment, I had 3 things that I need to do. Okay, so 4 days before my dermatologist appointment, I would fast. The next day, I would get my blood done, and then 3 days later, I would have my dermatologist appointment. And I would spread it out that way because the blood work has to have time to be processed and sent to your dermatologist. So if you got your blood done the day before your appointment, it probably won't be sent to your dermatologist. And the whole point for you to go back to the dermatologist every single month is to, 1, check up with them, make sure that you're not having really bad symptoms and anything like that. Tell them what's going on, and they need to make sure that your liver and your organs are still healthy because Accutane can kind of mess with your insides a little bit. Also, just like you had to before you could even get put on Accutane, every time you get done with your appointment at the dermatologist, they're going to tell you go home, take your quiz, and then we can send you your next month. So you have to take that quiz every month. You see the same questions over and over again. They might throw in a little some new questions for you, but it's really easy, nothing to worry about. So now I'm going to get into the cost of Accutane because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about the cost of Accutane. And yes, it can be expensive if you don't have insurance. If you have the right insurance, it's not too bad. I'm going to break everything down and tell you where the costs come into play. So 1, you have to pay for your dermatologist appointment, obviously. Okay, so depending on what office you go to and what insurance you have, that is all going to come into play for how much your appointment is going to cost. So where I go and with my insurance, every appointment is $60. So it really just depends on what insurance and what dermatologist you go to. The next cost is going to be getting your blood work done. Okay, so again, it depends on where you go get your blood work done, and it depends on what insurance you have. But with the insurance, it was only about $35. So next, you have the cost of the actual medication. Now, always, 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 always tell your dermatologist to put you on the generic, okay? It literally does not matter with medication. Always choose the generic because they can't, the generic is basically like the dupe, you know, like how makeup has like dupes and all the stuff, like, you know, you have your Birkenstocks, then you have your Target Birkenstocks that were only like $12-$20, you know. That's the same thing with medicine, but they can't downgrade medicine. You can't mess up medicine. It all has the same factors that go into it. It just all has to do with the brand name, okay? So always tell your dermatologist to put you on the generic, and it's always going to be cheaper than the name brand Accutane that you'll ever be put on. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to do the same thing to your body. It all just has to do with that name. So for me, when I was on Accutane, I think my parents paid about $100 a month for the dermatologist appointment, for the blood work, and for the pills. Okay, so I don't think that's horrible. I know it can add up a lot over time, but my family knew how much of a struggle acne was for me, and so they wanted to do it for me, so they did everything they could in order to pay for that Accutane. Now I'm going to be going into the symptoms because I know everybody has different symptoms, and whenever you go into the dermatologist for your monthly checkup, the first thing you're going to do is the nurse is going to come in and they're going to have this list of symptoms that they have to read off to you. It was just this long list of like 20 symptoms that you could have when you're on Accutane, and all of them I would answer no to, other than the dry skin and dry lips. Okay, so those are the first two symptoms that you're gonna have no matter what. Your skin is going to be dry. Some people experience the dry skin more severely than others do. So like I said, my skin wasn't super dry when I was on Accutane. As long as I put moisturizer and lotion on, I was set. But the lips is where it got me. I was always dry in my lips no matter what. If I didn't have Aquaphor on, I was dying. Like, my lips were burning. The other symptoms that I've heard of that I didn't necessarily experience, but things that you could as well, joint pain is definitely very common in your knees and in your back. A lot of people experience joint pain when they're on Accutane. They would always ask me if my eyes were dry, which I never experienced dry eyes, but I guess that is a symptom. There's a whole list of symptoms, and I'll try and like list them out right here for you guys, but I really personally only experienced the dry skin and the dry lips, so hopefully that's all you guys experience too. And then the last thing I'm going to get into is the big question of, is Accutane worth it? I definitely think Accutane is worth it, even though you have to do all these things to keep up with your dry lips and your dry skin, but it's definitely worth it. If you can afford it, please go ahead and go for it. If your dermatologist did recommend it, I would definitely tell them, yes, I'm willing to go into it. And don't be afraid. If you start Accutane and you genuinely do not like it, if your symptoms are getting really bad, just stop taking it. Just go to your dermatologist and say, here's what's up. I just can't do it anymore. And that's fine. You know, your dermatologist cannot force you to be on Accutane. That is your decision. Just make sure you're very vocal and you communicate with your dermatologist, because if you go in and he asks you, hey, how's everything going, and you tell him great, but really you're not great, you know, that's your health. So you have to be very verbal with your dermatologist. You know, if you're still breaking out, you have to tell him that. I don't know if you guys experience the same thing, but every single time I would go to the dermatologist, my skin would be clear, and then as soon as I leave, my skin breaks out again. So I have to tell them, like, hey, this is the clearest it's been since I've been back. You know, I've been breaking out. And then they'll actually do something about it. But if you tell them, yeah, I'm clear, I'm good, they're gonna think that they're doing their job right, and they don't have to, they just keep continuing what they're doing. But just make sure you're very verbal with your dermatologist, and make sure you drink water while you're on Accutane, because your body's going to be dehydrated, and your body is going to need that water in order to stay hydrated. So I think I covered everything. Hopefully, I spent a lot of time on these notes trying to make sure I got everything into this video, because there's a lot of different things that go into Accutane, and I'm sure I forgot a lot of different things. But if you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment down in the comments below asking me questions about Accutane, and I will gladly answer them, because I know Accutane can be very scary going into it. I know before I started Accutane, I definitely was searching around for videos and wanting to hear other people's stories. You know, I was really contemplating if I should do it or not, because it does seem scary going into it, but trust me, once you get started with it and your body gets used to it, it's really not that bad. You just have to stay consistent with it. But I hope I helped. Hopefully help somebody answer some questions about Accutane and deciding whether not or whether to get on it. But I think that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one or like the ones I have tagged up here in the corner right there. Go click on it. Go click on it. I will see you guys in my next video. All right? Peace out.